Hello and welcome to Best English Podcast. I'm Joe.
And hello from me. Great to be here.
Today we're looking into something really fascinating, the connection between music and the brain.
Yeah, it's a topic lots of people wonder about, right? How does music actually affect us, whether you're playing an instrument or just listening?
Exactly. So we want to explore what we know about these effects and clarify some of the vocabulary along the way for English learners listening in.
Sounds good. Where should we start?
Let's begin with learning an instrument. What impact does that have?
Well, the really interesting thing is it seems you can start at any age and still get benefits for your intelligence, your physical health, and definitely for the brain itself.
So it's never too late to pick up that guitar.
Pretty much. And think about what's involved. Playing an instrument demands amazing coordination between different systems.
You mean like hearing the music?
Right, the auditory system, that's our hearing. Then there's the motor system that governs your movements, your fingers on the keys or strings.
Okay. And sensory, like touch.
Exactly, the feel of the instrument. And of course, the visual system, reading the music or watching your hands, they all have to work together seamlessly.
It's a real whole brain activity then.
Absolutely. And what's quite remarkable is that even a little practice seems to make a difference.
How little are we talking?
Some research suggests just an hour a week, maybe for a few months, can lead to actual growth and more activity in brain areas important for memory, hearing, and motor function.
Motor function, maybe we should quickly define that.
Oh, right. Good point. Motor function is essentially your brain's ability to control your body's movements. Think about coordinating fingers, hands, maybe even feet if you're playing drums or an organ.
Got it. And I've read somewhere this kind of practice might even affect IQ.
Yes, there are studies suggesting a potential link to increased IQ scores. IQ, of course, stands for intelligence quotient. It's a way to measure reasoning and problem-solving skills.
Interesting. So playing music isn't just fun. It could actually make you, well, smarter in a measurable way.
Yeah, the evidence points in that direction. And it goes beyond just IQ. Musicians often seem better at processing emotions.
Processing emotions? What does that mean exactly?
It means having a better understanding of feelings, both your own and others, and maybe responding to them more effectively.
Okay. And other skills too.
Yeah, they often seem to pick up new skills more easily, like learning a new language, which involves similar auditory processing and memory skills, and they tend to be good at creative problem solving.
Creative problem solving.
Yeah.
Like finding novel solutions.
Precisely. Thinking outside the usual paths, finding innovative answers to challenges, it might be linked to how their brains are wired.
How so? Is there something different structurally?
Well, one fascinating finding is about the communication between the left and right sides, the hemispheres of the brain.
Ah, the two halves of the brain.
Right. In musicians, there appears to be enhanced communication, more cooperation between these hemispheres.
Which could lead to that out-of-the-box thinking.
That's the idea. More integration between the logical left brain and the more creative right brain. And structurally, this might be down to the corpus callosum.
The corpus callosum. That's the big bundle of nerve fibers connecting the two hemispheres, isn't it?
Exactly. It acts like a bridge. And some studies suggest it might be larger or maybe just more efficient in musicians, allowing for that faster, better communication.
So a bigger bridge means more traffic between brain regions.
Kind of, yeah. Facilitating that interhemispheric transfer, which is crucial for complex tasks that need both analytical and creative thought.
Beyond the cognitive stuff, are there physical health benefits too?
Yes, definitely. Playing an instrument has been linked to things like boosting the immune system.
The immune system, our body's defense against getting sick.
That's the one. Also, increased resilience to hearing loss. Resilience meaning the ability to withstand or recover from difficulties, in this case, damage to hearing.
Wow. And I think I read it can even help stroke patients.
That's right. It's used in some therapies to help stroke survivors regain motor skills. A stroke, as you know, interrupts blood flow to the brain, often affecting movement. Regaining those skills means recovering the ability to control movement.
That's incredible. Music is therapy.
And it's not just playing. Even just listening to music has shown potential benefits. For example, helping with the repair and regeneration of damaged nerves in the brain.
Regeneration,
Yeah.
meaning the regrowth of tissue.
Yes, the renewal or repair of nerve cells. And thinking long-term, learning an instrument later in life is associated with a lower risk of dementia.
Dementia, that's serious decline in mental function. And other cognitive impairments, too.
Right. Cognitive impairments refer to difficulties with thinking, memory, reasoning. So music seems protective.
So if we were to look inside a musician's brain versus a non-musician's, What differences might we actually see?
Okay, well, structurally, musicians often show more gray matter. That's the brain tissue packed with nerve cell bodies, really important for processing information.
More processing power, essentially.
You could put it that way. They also tend to show increased neuroplasticity.
That's the brain's ability to change and adapt, right?
Yeah.
Form new connections.
Exactly. The brain isn't fixed, it can reorganize itself. Music training seems to enhance this ability. We might also see differences in white matter, that's the tissue with the nerve fibers, the connections, and sometimes more symmetrical firing patterns across the brain.
Symmetrical firing patterns.
Yeah, like the activity in corresponding areas of the left and right hemispheres being more coordinated or balanced.
And there's something about myelin, too, isn't there?
Ah, yes, myelin. Playing an instrument, like mastering any complex skill, seems to strengthen the myelin coating around nerve fibers.
The myelin coating. That's like insulation on a wire.
Perfect analogy. It insulates the nerve fibers, allowing signals to travel much faster and more efficiently through the brain and body.
And that could explain why musicians often seem to have faster reactions.
Very likely. Faster response times, quicker reflexes that improve signal transmission probably plays a big role. Reflexes being those quick, automatic responses.
Okay, this is all fascinating stuff about the brain itself, but there's another connection people often talk about. Music and math.
Ah, yes, the music-math connection. It's definitely there. Think about counting in at the start of a song.
Like 1, 2, 3, 4.
Exactly. Musicians do that, out loud or mentally, to synchronize. That means getting everyone to start playing at the exact same moment.
Synchronization. Makes sense.
And then there's the beat.
Right. Every piece has a steady beat, like a pulse. And the speed of that beat is the tempo. Interestingly, tempo comes from the Latin tempus, meaning time.
So keeping time is fundamental.
Absolutely. And understanding that a steady beat is actually one of the first ways young kids engage with basic mathematical concepts: rhythm, timing, pattern.
Beyond the steady beat, you have patterns in the distance between notes being the individual sounds, or combinations of notes played together, which we call chords.
Right. Some chords sound harmonious because of the mathematical relationships between the notes.
Precisely. Specific intervals, specific ratios. And songs themselves are built on patterns repeating sequences of notes. Think of something simple like Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. Same melody line repeats.
They're variations on a pattern.
Exactly. And musicians use numbers constantly when reading music. That time signature you see at the beginning, like 44.
Okay. The time signature. What do those numbers mean again?
Good question. The top number tells you how many beats are in each measure. A measure is like a small section of the music. The bottom number tells you what kind of note gets one beat.
So in 44, it's 4 beats per measure, and the 4 on the bottom means a quarter note gets 1 beat.
You got it.
Mm.
Which leads us straight into fractions.
Ah, fractions in music.
Yep. Note lengths are all based on fractions of a whole. In 44 time, a whole note lasts 4 beats. A half note lasts 2 beats, half as long. A quarter note, 1 beat.
And then eighth notes and 16th notes are even shorter.
Right. An eighth note is half a beat. A 16th is a quarter of a beat. So if you understand music notation, learning fractions in math class can actually feel quite intuitive. You already have this practical auditory sense of these ratios.
It makes you wonder, though.
Yeah.
Does learning music help with math, or is it that people good at math find music easier?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? The causality. We know there's a correlation that students who play instruments tend to score higher on math tests.
Well, we don't know exactly why.
Not definitively. It could be that the cognitive skills for music directly help with math, or maybe kids learning music are more likely to be in schools with strong math programs.
Or maybe family support plays a role.
That's another factor. Or perhaps some people just have a natural aptitude, a natural talent for both because they tap into similar brain areas for things like pattern recognition.
Aptitude,
Yeah.
right? Like a natural ability.
Yeah. But whatever the precise link, it's clear that playing music is fantastic brain exercise. You're processing visual info from the page, auditory info from the sounds, and coordinating complex motor skills, all at the same time.
A true mental workout.
Definitely.
So wrapping this up then, it seems the connections between music, the brain, and even math are really strong and multifaceted.
Absolutely. Whether you're actively learning an instrument or just engaging with music by listening, there are clear benefits for brain health and function.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? Maybe a good final thought for our listeners is to consider their own relationship with music. Have you noticed how it affects your mood, your focus?
Or maybe even consider picking up an instrument. It's never too late, and it's clearly great exercise for the brain.
Indeed.